the show. The Stay at Home Mastery Podcast. Who would have thought? They took surfing. The man has closed the beaches. Surfing is illegal. You want to seek solace? You want to social distance yourself in the ocean away from... No, you can't. Because the man is out there stopping you. Or maybe you've lived close to the beach and you can sneak out. Maybe you don't live in a crazy concrete jungle close to the sand like me, where the man is just doing nothing but stopping people going to the ocean. Or you can go into the supermarket. Not only can you go, you have to go to the supermarket. At least you just have to. You have to go to the cesspit of germs that is the supermarket. You got these people walking around without face masks, coughing on everything, touching everything, but you can't go surfing. I was in the supermarket the other day, and I just wanted to grab one pack of grated cheese, and there's this old lady just standing there looking at all the cheese, touching. She must have picked up 8 different packs, wondering, without a face mask. This is yesterday, peak week. And these mouth breathers, I have to stand and wait to choose. I've got to put myself amongst that. Her touching every packet of cheese in the aisle, not to mention the supermarket workers who are exposed to these people all day, every day, who packed the shelves. I got to go in there and touch all that stuff. Social distancing in the supermarket is a joke because they only enforce it right by the checkout. Everyone else is walking around trying to get by you, no face masks on. Yeah. Yet I can't go surfing. I can't go down to my local beach where no one is and go surfing. But anyway, such is life. There's not much we can do. So what are you? You're stuck at home? You're self-isolating? Are you sick? Are you quarantined? Are you stuck at home with your loved ones? Are you embracing it? Are you learning an instrument? Or are you just watching Netflix? Are you a parent of young kids and you're pretty much doing a crash course in homeschooling? Wow, that's what I'm doing. That gives you a very deep appreciation of teachers and childcare workers. Wow. That has not been easy. And we are avoiding screen time as well. That makes it even harder. Stuck in your house. We have a backyard, thankfully. But, very limited screen time. Just been homeschooling and doing little projects. So that's why I haven't had much time to edit previous recorded episodes. But I've got one coming up. I thought I'd do a little extended intro, a bit of a rant. Seeming as you guys have probably got time to listen. How are you listening? Did you jump in your car? Are you driving your car? Did you have to get out of the house? Did you have to go for a drive to listen to some music and catch up on a few podcasts? Or are you lying in bed with your loved one and just tuning in? Are you quarantined with someone you like or someone you loathe? Are you newlyweds at home, honeymooning, staycation honeymooning, living the dream? Or did you move in with a workaholic who you absolutely loved in small doses, but now they're working from home or they've been fired and you're stuck at home with someone you have just recently learnt to loathe, and you're sitting there just grimacing and gritting your teeth waiting for this pandemic to be over so you can find a new place to live? Or were you just on the edge, on the brink of a conscious uncoupling, and then boom, stuck at home with her or him? Are you gritting your teeth and just waiting? Yes, honey. Yeah. How is your situation? Are you alone? You live alone and you're used to people coming around and go out and visiting. Now you can't and you're feeling lonely. How are you? Embrace it. There's nothing we can do. This too will pass. Good time to start meditating if you don't already. Get into meditation. Learn an instrument. Get into music. Amazon will deliver you a guitar or a keyboard tomorrow. Get into it. For plenty of online lessons. Matty Scorange of The Art of Surfing has just released his online surf learning thing. So you can still learn about surfing. There's plenty to learn about. You can go back through the archives of this podcast. Episode 5 was when I interviewed Matty Scorange, The Art of Surfing, on Instagram. And he's just released his online program, so go and check that out. Look at my Instagram story for links to that. Chris Mills, the surf strength coach, the Surf Athlete app. Keep fit, keep active, get rid of those little niggles you've been carrying around for a while, or just stay fit and strong, because when this is over, there will be a swell. So don't laze around watching Netflix, HBO, Disney Plus. Gone through all that. Did you watch Tiger King like everyone else? New season of Ozark just came out. Westworld. What else was good? What else have you been watching? Barry, that's a good one. I got into Barry. Nice dark comedy. Love my dark comedy. Curb Your Enthusiasm. Got through that as well. It's genius. Silly genius. The Bill Burr podcast. Been listening to a lot of Bill Burr. The Monday Morning Podcast. One of my favorites. What else is going on? I got some poison. Got poison oak. Stung by some poison oak. That's gnarly. You do not. If you're new to America and or you're visiting America and you want to go on a hike, learn what poison oak is and stay away from it. It is gnarly. I got stung by it like a week ago, and it didn't even show up till like 2 days later, and then I'm a week in, and it's just it's horrible. Last night I woke up at 2 a.m. just woke up to me scratching myself, just in this itchy fit, and I've scratched all the scars off my leg. There goes my leg modelling career. So watch out for poison oak. What else? The interview I'll be releasing after this extended rant is one with Matt Grainger. I just finished editing it, and we talk about the surf culture a little bit, and reminded me of a story. Actually happened like 3 weeks ago, just before this whole pandemic. I was surfing one of my spots around the corner. Actually, it was about a week after the pandemic started, and there was a few beaches that hadn't been closed, so everyone was congregated there, and I pulled up and watched it for a little bit as I was suiting up, and it wasn't that busy, but there was a lot of out-of-towners, a lot of what do they call them? Bowels. Beginner, adult, learner. There's a lot of bowels out there sitting on the shoulder, and I was looking out there, and there was a nice little peak was coming in, little shifty, tricky peak right out the back of one of my favourite waves around. I thought, I'll just paddle out there and pick off a few. So I did that, and I was sitting out the back, right on the spot. No one else was sitting out there. Everyone else was sitting on the shoulder, and I scratched into a wave. Beautiful little wave. Caught it right as it was breaking perfectly. And Mr. Bow, Mr. Beginner Adult Learner, just sat there and waited for it. Waited for the shoulder of the wave to come to him, and then just blatantly dropped in on me, completely avoiding any social distancing respect. And I just gently nudged him off, just reached out and sort of pushed the nose of his soft top away and surfed the wave. And as I was paddling back out, he gives me the dirtiest look, and I just looked at him and said, "Well, what? You dropped in on me." And he goes, And then he just says, "Oh, but that wave was coming straight towards me. It was my wave." And usually in that situation, I would just keep my head down and not even acknowledge and just, but I just either, and it was a stressful time, and I snapped at him, and I sat there and I was like, "What?" And I just said, "You know what? No, the wave broke out there. I've been surfing for 20 years, learning how to read waves, and I had the nous to sit out there and catch it from where it was breaking, mate. You need to learn how to do that. You don't just drop in on people because you think it's your turn." anyway, I thought it was quite funny. I was thinking, it's so funny. And this is certainly not California at all. This is just around LA. There's just this beginner, adult, learner entitlement attitude in the surf, and some people blame leg ropes and leashes. You've seen the T-shirt, "Leashes ruin surfing." Well, no, CCTV ruined surfing, and soft tops ruined surfing. Now, honestly, if that dude had done that to one of the locals at that beach, 15 years ago, he would have got a stern word, and he would have put his tail between his legs and learnt respect in the lineup, and learnt that, you know what, if I want my wave, I'm going to have to learn how to catch the wave from where it breaks. That's how surfing works. But that lesson just doesn't get learnt anymore. If he chose not to take that lesson and kept dropping in on the local who was better than him, then he might have got a tap on the nose. And you can't do that with CCTV anymore. It's and I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just being silly. It's there's not much you can do about it. Then I'm sure that's don't take anything I say seriously. Be kind out in the water. Leave your ego on the sand. Leave your ego on the sand, seriously. But if you're a beginner adult learner out there with a soft top, you there's a certain, you're just gonna have to. Sometimes you got to play the game a little bit. You can't expect to catch the best waves of the day. You can just sit there on the shoulder and think that someone's going to give you a turn. It's not how it works. There's plenty of beach breaks around where you can go and practice your pop-ups and learn how to read waves before you go out to some of the pumping points here and try and compete with people that have been surfing the waves well for 15 years. Yeah, people just taking advantage of CCTV, basically. But hey, it's just the way it is. What do you think, listeners? What's your take? Has anyone else got an opinion on the surf culture in around LA? I've surfed in other places in California. It's not like that. It's much more respectful, and it's just respectful. Anyway, in that situation, I just ended up paddling down the beach and surfing a different part of the wave. I just don't want to hang around people like that. Basically, it's not worth. That attitude is just so bizarre. I find it. It's not what surfing should be about, really. When I was growing up surfing, if someone paddled around me and paddled 30 feet away from me, and while I was sitting there staring at the horizon with my mouth opened, thinking about whatever, instead of being actively paddling around the lineup trying to read the ocean, if that person was doing that and then caught a really good wave and the shoulder came right towards me, and I wouldn't, you just don't blatantly drop in on because you think it's your turn. You look at the guy and you go, "Oh wow, give him a compliment, say, oh, hey, you ripped that wave to shreds," and then he might actually give you the next wave. That's how it works. CCTV. I don't know. But, I've surfed other parts of California. It's much different. It's much more, old school. Much more respectful. That was a bit of a rant. Anyway, today's episode is with Matt Grainger. This will be Matt's third appearance on the show, and I thought it was an appropriate interview to release during this pandemic. I recorded it a few months ago when I was back in Australia, and Matt really opens up, and we get deep and philosophical. And big thanks to Matt for doing it and being vulnerable and honest and all that. And Matt's actually been, if you go to Matt Grainger's Instagram, Manly Surf School and the Surfers Gym, I'll put links on my Instagram post to his stuff. But he's been putting out some free surf inspired workouts on his Instagram. So if you're at home, isolated and looking at ways to keep fit and mobile, there's another resource for you, Matt Grainger. So anyway, enjoy my conversation with Matt. So you've been foiling,
yeah, probably twice. At first we were doing like 7 days a week. And now, maybe 3 days a week. Bombies are just made for it. Or
so big wave foiling.
Yeah, big and small. Yeah, Tom comes out. There's a whole bunch of us, really about 4 skis between us, and we just share.
Oh, so it's all ski based.
Yeah, I do a bit of paddling like Tom, like paddling to like little chip in, like a little bit of foam, and then you get up, and then away you go. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Just different feeling.
Yeah, everyone seems to.
But you can't replace doing a big hack or a tube. Can't really get tubed on a foil because you just get flipped.
Not yet.
Until they get the wings smaller or whatever. But yeah, you just going so fast, you just outrun it.
Yeah, how would you get barreled on a foil? You'd have to kind of get a weird angle and run through it or something.
Almost. Yeah, we're at one day and we're almost, but you went like that, like you said, you wanted to go down here, and as it was barreling, come up around the boil, and then sort of get. But you couldn't, nothing like a normal barrel. But you're flying, just go Don't stop! I'm gonna fall.
Looks so gnarly that you posted a cut on your head.
Yeah, no, that was a good one, eh? that was a good advertisement not to do it.
Yeah, exactly. I
wasn't selling it.
No. You probably don't want to sell it either.
No, exactly. Don't want to, actually. Don't want to. I don't want to teach it. It's too gnarly. And it's so hard. Yeah, so hard.
Why is it so hard? Is it such, like, fine-tuned?
Foiling's just real intricate, so you just slight little movements. And you're actually trying to keep the foil down. Like, you know how you see everyone, you think you pull it up, but you actually want to keep it down. And when you turn, you're just doing these tiny little movements. And you got to lock your ankles. But it actually helps you surfing because you start surfing with flow. You start not trying to oversurf the wave. Yeah, you look at different angles too, different parts of the wave to get speed. And whereas growing up in the 80s, you just want to hack.
so it's super touchy.
Yeah, really touchy. Like if you just put any bit of effort, like pressure, it'll throw you off. So it's just like you're doing the most longest drawn out cutback of your life, pretty much. Just holding that position, like for ages. So yeah, it's helped my surfing for sure. And like trying to surf with less effort and trying to get graceful as you get older.
Yeah. Fine tune it. So then you can kind of get that, just smaller movements from your stance in surfing.
Yeah, and less is more. Trying to, not that I'd surf anywhere like Parko, but trying to emulate Parko, if that makes sense, or Steph Gilmore with those beautiful lines. Trying to get the hands even a little bit tighter and not so flamboyant.
What else has been happening in your surfing world?
Surfing world, Yeah, we changed the gym to the Surfers Gym instead of
Rebranded.
Rebranded, and just trying to make it more accessible for everyone. And I think even with my own headspace, I'm still coaching competitive surfers, but just having more enjoyment, like just working on technique and fun and riding different boards.
Yeah.
You know, been riding lots of town and countries, like 80s models.
Oh, yeah.
So Gunther Ron's been shaping them. So got this nice low rail with a flat deck. So it's pretty much a copy of Nicky Wood's board that he won bells on in the 80s. So he's got that model. He's thrown out all the bad stuff and then put back in the good stuff. So a little bit of tail rocker and got all the cool 80s sprays, pinks and yellows and stuff. It's pretty cool. And had some good sessions on that. At Cloudbreak, I had a good session with Tommy Carroll and Hedgie in Cloudbreak. Went over for 4 days for a swell. That was unreal. A couple of macaronis trips, and then another trip with Taz and Bella back to Cloudbreak. So no big German stuff this year, but the foil's been insane. Heaps of fun. Just narrowbeam and longies. Just had nothing like mental, but just every day. Yeah. Every day you can surf, and doing a lot of body movement, surf movement.
Sweet. Like what are you studying in that? What's new?
It's like the Gymnastica Naturelle. Rodrigo, he's actually painted a surf movement. Have you seen his stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I did the certification with him, level 1. I did that 6 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm putting that into the gym as well.
Oh, cool.
Cool stuff.
Yeah.
And you can just do all those, those flows that I used to do with you. And then he's got cool names for him and stuff. Yeah. And I'm relearning again, like I was looking at it going, some of the movements, like how am I going to teach that? Because it looks too hard. And then eventually, like anything, repetition. And he's a great coach, like all about the posture and the sort of that's helped with the foiling and just feel really light and strong.
Yeah, I sort of met him. He was on the DNS course that I was doing in the States.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, good guy, hey. Yeah, and he's been doing jiu-jitsu his whole life. I got my black belt the other day.
I saw that.
Yeah, so that's cool.
Congrats.
Yeah, thanks. So 12 years.
Wow.
So black belt in Brazilian jiu-jitsu, which is pretty amazing. I mean, I was always wanting to get there, but it's a long road. Broke my arm when I was a blue belt. We kept going, kept turning up. But we're just getting smarter now, not trying to kill each other. Like anything, like mastery, surfing, jiu-jitsu, trying to surf smarter.
So, yeah, jiu-jitsu, just a broken arm was the only...
Yeah, that's it. Broken arm.
No staph infections?
Nah. Pretty lucky here. Our gyms aren't as crazy as probably the US, not getting the numbers. And, my coach is Peter King. He cleans the mats every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, so it's just been a crazy year. Like, just looking a bit more reflective, bit of, a lot actually, of just self-improvement, just working on yourself, and worked out that, you can only work on yourself first, to help others. You can't control the uncontrollables. So always in life, especially with kids and that, especially with my young kids, and I've really grown up now, so I basically worked on myself, and then I worked it out, and I said to the kids, just as long as you're awesome people and get an education, do whatever you want. Just look at that life in a different way. So it's been a bit of a massive growth year. Yeah, reading a lot, psychology, meditating, still doing the ice baths, doing the Wim Hof, loving that. Surfing and boardies a lot in the cold.
Yeah.
Just, when it's like, you're not going to go for a 4 hour surf, so you just go out for 40 minutes and just freeze your balls off. You paddle around like a maniac and come in invigorated.
Even in winter?
Yeah, I was doing some winter ones.
Yeah.
And, just... people go, what are you, crazy? And it's funny how you get used to it. Like Wim says, like just the sensitivity on your skin, and you can block it out. And you just got to keep paddling. And you catch a lot of waves. And your body feels amazing, and you get that little shiver at the end, and it's kind of like sets you up for the day. You been doing stuff like that?
Yeah, I do it. Yeah. I've been getting into the ice baths as well.
Yeah.
Like once a week.
Good reset, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't pushed past 5 minutes yet, though.
Yeah.
But
I actually did the course, and I've done about 4 Wim Hof courses this year with this guy called Johannes. He's a legend. He's a free diver as well.
Yeah.
And he was saying, it's our human nature to try to get these long times. But he said, 5's pretty much it.
That's all you need. Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to do damage.
Yeah, I found that if you push, like you get to the stage where it's kind of like it's comfortable when you're in the zone, and as soon as you start to feel like cold, if you push past that too much, it just takes so long to warm up.
And it's not going to. Yeah, he said it's not going to give you any benefits. It's just your ego.
Yeah,
it's just our ego. We've got to win, and we've got to get a time and stuff like that. That's where I've kind of gone with my life too. Just not trying so hard. Just it all sort of falls into place.
Yeah.
Just sound like a bit of a hippie now, but
it's all good.
But just let things flow, kind of work itself out.
Hardship helps.
Yeah, it does.
I've been putting a lot of people in the ice bath, just watching how different people react to it.
Oh yeah,
such a good test of character.
I know, like doing those the courses with Johannes, and like people were so fearful. Hey.
Oh, yeah.
Just freaking. Like one girl brought a wetsuit and he's going, no, you can't wear that. And just, it's amazing. Yeah, they just... Whereas, you and I, we surf cold water with surfing, so you kind of got it pretty easy there. You feel amazing afterwards, hey?
Oh, yeah. You do, yeah.
But it's that fear. I can't believe people have that fear.
It's not. It's hard, though. Every time, like the first 30 seconds...
Yeah.
It's always hard.
Yeah, that's what's good about it. Hey, it's never easy, and you think ones that are easy. I did one with Hedgie up the coast. That was pretty cool, and he got it off Mick Fanning, and you're like, how you close your eyes and you get in the zone. He's got like these cold water bottles, and he just pours it on your head when you're not ready.
Yeah.
Or he comes and fluffs the water up. When you move, you get colder, so you'll be there and you're going, this is awesome, and I've got this, and I'm just getting in the zone. And you feel this cold water trickling on your head, and you're like, and then you see Hedgie laughing, and then he's like flicks the water as well. He's like, fuck Hedgie. Yeah, getting uncomfortable, hey.
You're learning to stay calm in the uncomfort. Because the only real fear that we have in life is fear of death.
Yeah.
That's the only real fear, right?
Yeah,
it's the fear of actually physically dying.
Yeah, yeah.
Every other fear is irrelevant.
Exactly.
So when you hop into an ice bath, it's real. Like if someone was to strap you in there, you die.
You could die, yeah.
Yeah, easy. If someone strapped you in there,
a big wave comes, like a monster closeout at Waimea Bay or something, you've got to just go, oh well, I've got to deal with it right now, really well.
Yeah.
If you don't, you're just going to get thrashed.
Yeah. Well, the best way to try and survive is to stay calm.
Just calm. Yeah. And all that stuff I learnt with Nam was really cool when I did that internship with Nam Baldwin, and he was more about it wasn't about the breath hold, it was about being calm, and that's where I think a lot of people get messed up. I mean, even like I think the last podcast I was with you and we're talking about with all my mates who were being psychos, and when we flipped it, when you flip your brain and make it fun, you're not so scared, and then same deal as we can do it with breath or whatever, just to artificially change your brain through breathing or laughter or whatever, and then suddenly it's not that bad. Yeah, it's all made up in your head. And it's funny, like, I don't know, that's a lot of stuff I've been reading about, and it's funny how at the end of the day the thoughts and feelings aren't real, you just made them up.
They're just judgments.
Once you get to that, you're like, yeah, right.
Yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, that crazy thought, I just made it up. It's not even real. Same as when you're scared, like when you said, when you're fully scared in a crazy moment, if you just handle it really well, you're like, oh, that wasn't too bad. There's that little quick little shit moment. I remember I was at Waimea Bay once, and it went black, like a bomb set came, and I was just only 5 of us out, and I just because I'd surf big waves, as a grommet, and I just threw my board and just dived, and then I just went calm. I said, there's nothing I can do. I just went down and just watched it go over the top, and then come back up, and then I actually grabbed my board and got away. Didn't get smashed by any more, but it was like a really cool feeling, just going, be calm. And when I go out the captain, when we tow, when that time we were doing the towing body surfing, it was funny. Like afterwards, we got back on our boards and it wasn't even scary. Whereas before, like An hour before that, we were shit scared. We were going around the lip, like weren't really getting deep in the barrel, and then as soon as you flipped it in your brain, it felt like 3 foot. Yeah, and that was an hour. You know, it's funny the mind. And I've been doing that even with my beginner coaching, intermediate coaching, just trying to teach them about the 5 second in breath, 5 second out breath, simple stuff with them, and just explaining how you can just calm yourself down. Because, like a beginner, 3 foot's like probably 20 foot for us. Yeah, like they've never been in the ocean. They're freaking out. So just as soon as you can do that, people don't even know how to I even get them to hold their hand sometimes and just dive under. And I say, look up. And they're like, what? Look up. Open your eyes. And then they understand it then, and it's like, oh, right. Because they haven't even dived under a wave before. So all that sort of stuff we forget. Hey, as coaches, or we give them a board and a weddy and teach them how to stand up, but they don't even know what to do when a set comes.
Yeah, well, stay calm when they get ragged.
What about yourself? You've been doing breath hold stuff?
I haven't, man. I've been living in Malibu. The waves get head high at best.
Yeah.
We get a few double overhead days in the winter, but I haven't travelled for anything serious, so I haven't been motivated to do breath holds. So no, I've been riding just different. I've been riding long boards, fishers.
Yeah,
I've got an 11-foot glider.
Sick.
I've just been messing around with different boards.
Yeah,
for small, long period point breaks, basically.
Yeah.
So that's been my surfing thing. Yeah.
But that was cool. I went with Hedgie and Tom to a big swell to cloud break. And it was good because Tom, because he's a meditation master now, we do meditation at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
And we'd just be grabbing the boards and going. And that helped heaps too. And even the guys who'd never done meditation before, some of the guys with us. Yeah, just those situations where you're about to get flogged, just going, all right, I've just done did some breath hold stuff with Tom. And then we did Vedic meditation. And that helped the guys too, like just calm down, it's okay. And yeah, you look at all the best athletes, aren't they? They're pretty much all the ones that are level, aren't they?
Yeah, for sure.
The ones that up and down like a yo-yo, they're just too emotional.
Yeah. And then you especially look at you got a team full of amazing athletes like that, and you got the captain who's next level calm.
Yeah, exactly.
Can make decisions and organise the team and still play amazing.
Like the All Blacks, yeah.
Yeah, that's next level.
Next level. Yeah, so that was cool. That was a hot trip. We were just waxing the boards up, just watching these big barrels. Hedgie had 2 jet skis organised too, like for pickups, so we could just go hard, as hard as you can. And just being there with Tom, watching his style, just saw him do an airdrop, come off the bottom and do this big snap, just sort of like the pipe snap kind of thing. And you just I just said to Hedgie, I'm just stoked just to see that turn. I can go home now. Just seeing, his style's just timeless, hey? And it's kind of even got better. Like he's got better boards. And then Hedgie was ripping too with his style. And we're just pushing each other just in a nice way, just hooting each other into bombs and getting smashed, riding bigger boards, paying out on each other.
How big a boards are you riding now?
I was riding an 8.0. Hedgie's riding a 9. I think Tommy was on an 8.6.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it was serious, good size.
Yeah, it was serious.
Like triple overhead cloud break.
Yeah, on the third ledge. And it had a bit of wind too, so you just had to put the head down and go. And there was some guy sitting in the second ledge, and the first ledge. Probably the first ledge, sorry. And you get like crazy barrels there, but you just get smashed. Like you're just basically playing cat and mouse the whole time. Whereas my plan was just go right around, sit the furthest out, deepest, furthest, and just wait. And it worked because you just catch one. And then you end up coming through that first ledge anyway and get barreled. So you just sort of take off like you just take off, do a few cutties, and then hit the barrel section. So I got this Magic 8.0 from JS. And he actually got made for Cloud Break for Parco and Ace. They got 2 boards made after that massive swell, the Volcom comp, after that. So they got some boards made, and then I spoke to Jay and said, well, he goes, can I? And I said, just copy that, and it's magic. It's thick, and yeah, it was really cool. Some big barrels, and then we'd come back and we'd surf restaurants on the way in. We'd have our 6Os on the board. We had our own boat, so we had like, oh man, there was probably like 30 boards on the boat. So it was cool, and we'd come in on the way in and just go from 8Os to 6Os and just surf these little hot dog barrels. You know, it's still 6 foot and heavy, but yeah, so that was a cool trip, hanging out with the goofies. Yeah, it's cool because Hedgie turned 40 this year. I turned 50, and Tom's just almost, I think, what's he, maybe 57 or something.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool. We're like all goofies, all mates, and just almost 10 years apart. Yeah. And our lives are kind of like Tom's 10 years ahead of me, and then Hedgie's 10 years behind, like he had his 40th. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Really good relationship and with those guys, and just team froth. And they're fit and healthy, you know. Yeah, so that's what I've learnt too. You just want to just keep that body, just keep your body and mind. You want to be surfing till you're 80.
Yeah.
100.
Yeah. Why not?
That's my goal.
Keep going, yeah.
Yeah, that's my goal. And the body movement stuff's insane. Still do some weights, like still pump weights as well.
Yeah.
But the body movement's insane. And it's hard. Like, I had my heart rate monitor, and my heart rate was 157. But that was probably at the start when I wasn't as efficient. But it was, we're doing laps and laps of Rodrigo's gym at holistic movement. And I was just like, whoa. So that was cool. And it's kind of like remember I did the Ido Portel stuff?
Yeah.
When you got injured and I took your spot? It's kind of like that, but way better because it's related to surfing. So he's thrown out all the stuff that's not really relatable or it's a waste of time. So kind of doing stuff. He's got some moves in there. He's got this one like the grab rail, and then it opens up the whole upper thoracic. So you got balancing and strength, and then so I'm so tired, as you know, when you used to train me, like all around here, around the shoulders and thoracic, just the upper region, just opening all that up. Hips are pretty good, but that's all we need. We just want loose hips, don't we?
Yeah.
Loose hips.
Still frothing on surfing. It's good to hear.
Oh yeah, still. What I got a new board the other day. I got a Gunteron twin fin, and he's made these, like I said, the flat deck and the really pinch rails. So he reckons that which is pretty smart. Like the best boards are the ones that the rails are almost catching. That makes sense. So you've got to really concentrate on your every turn. There was a lot of boards today, like off the rack, quite soft rail, so everyone can surf them. But those sort of lower rails, kind of, I know we're on a podcast, but yeah, those kind of more pinched rail, it flies through your turns, but you've just as you feel you're catching, you've got to just quickly adjust to the back foot so you don't dig a rail. And I think the foilings help too, because the foiling's so much concentration. And the flow state on the foil is insane. It's almost, that's why you can see why guys and girls get addicted to it, because of it's almost the same feeling as tube riding.
Really?
Yeah, and you're not in the tube. Because there's so much going on through every turn, and you're going so fast, and then you've got to go through, you're going past, you can't hit boils because you just get thrown. So you always got to look for little bubbles on the wave and go around it. Your concentration level's through the roof.
Wow.
Yeah, now that we're towing, we're going like 40 k's an hour and getting 700 metre rides. And then you're linking, you're looking over there, and there's like out Makaha at Longreef, you're looking to your right, and there's like a wave coming almost 300 metres away. And then you're going max speed, and you actually go over to it, and then do a turn off that, and then you come back to where you started, and then do another turn there, and then another turn. And I'll be out there with Leon or Benetti or Tommy Carroll and that, and then you kind of flick off the wave and put your hands over your head, like just flipping out, just what just happened.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
So you have to really read the water.
Read the water.
On a different level.
On another level. And because you're so high, you're probably like, a few feet above the water, and then you got this metal blade underneath you, and it's like a samurai sword. Plus, I've been belted before twice, had 6 staples in the head. Then I got my face glued once, but that was so not a good advertisement for foiling. I think I turned heaps of people off. So yeah, now I wear a helmet.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I've got a board that's 3'6".
Wow, that's small.
It's really small. Yeah, that's a tow one. You couldn't paddle it, and I got a 4'8" paddle prone board. So I haven't tried SUP. SUP would be fun too, but just the boards are so long. But yeah, the swing weight, it's cool because you're basically just surfing on the actual foil.
Yeah.
You don't need that board. And Tom's, sometimes his feet are like, his front foot's like 3 inches from the nose. Got that Tommy Carroll stance. And it's funny, like you watch every guy go from surfing, when they start getting good at foiling, like Tommy's now, and Leon, and you see their surfing style in the foil, but then they're going really drawn out and slowed down. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's like their personality comes out.
Wow. And so when you come off, does it make surfing feel slower?
Yeah. So those guys, the guys who don't surf, or say they do it, because everyone gets addicted to it, and they'll go. They say they've just foiled for a month, and then they go surfing. They can't do it. They're just like, mate, I was so bad. And whereas I've always frothed, so I'll always just foil. I'll surf just before it, or I'll go surf straight after. Even if it's shit, I'll just go out northy on my shortboard, and then you get used to it. But it's cool now because you've got this perception where you can get further across because you can do it on the foil. So it's funny, it transfers into your brain.
Interesting.
So sometimes you'll be on a wave and you think you're so far behind the section, but because you've been there on the foil, you just go, oh no, I'll just do a few pumps, and then you make it. And you go,
back yourself.
You back yourself, yeah. You back yourself way more, and because you're getting like a minute and a half ride, so some rides are like 700 meters sometimes. You get 20 rides some days. Like when I first started doing, my legs felt like timber. And it's crazy how your body just gets used to it. You know how you just, I don't know, we get a bit soft, don't we, growing up? But like, I know you're not. But you know when you get, oh no, I don't want to get sore. I won't be able to do this tomorrow. And anyway, because you're having so much fun foiling, you forget. And then eventually it just goes away. You feel this is the new normal, isn't it? Yeah, it says a lot. So yeah, like you'll be on your shorty. So you're at North Narran on a long little left, and you've already done 4 turns, and then your 5th turn gets better, then your 6th turn gets better, then your 7th turn, whereas before they'd be getting worse because it's all relatable surfing. You can see John doing it now, and I suppose it's just really good fitness and fun. And the pumping, when you can pump back out. So I think my record now is 5 waves, so it's pretty cool. Like, and it was a 4-foot day, so you're already hanging on the first one and then pump back out, get another one, and you just like, flick off the wave just with your hands in the air, just going, what happened? But yeah, it's cool where I live. If it's good because we've got a boat ramp there, and there's about 4 reefs that are perfect for towing, and there's no one around, so you're not hurting anyone. But yeah, you see guys, there's no point going out when there's a crowd, and you actually don't. Like I hate if there's people in the water. I don't like taking my foil out. You don't need to. We got all these spots where, and the waves you want to surf on a foil, you wouldn't want to surf on shortboard. I was with Tommy and we were coming in. It was 2 foot and absolutely terrible. And we're like hooting like little school kids. Just go, oh, look at that one. Look at that one. And there's a 2 foot little mush burger.
It's inspiring.
Yeah, you should be pretty good where you are, I reckon.
Yeah.
But you got crowds and...
Yeah. I mean, Laird's always doing it on his stand-up. And he reads the lineup and the waves pretty well. He gets away with it.
Yeah, you can kind of...
or wherever.
You kind of just need a little foamy... It's weird. You actually do bodyboard takeoffs. You actually do a bodyboard takeoff.
Yeah.
Like, if you were going to say I was at Snapper or Kira, I'd actually sit where no one's surfing and catch the end section and catch a little bodyboard takeoff and then jump up and then try and find a deep hole.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, you could actually... I don't know if there's waves. I haven't surfed around there.
Yeah.
Where you are.
No, there's spots to do it for sure.
Yeah, you just actually want a nice long wave with a big gutter in the middle with a chip in out the back, like a crappy little closeout, bodyboard take off and go for deep water. So it's like you got to switch your brain. You're looking for barrels and it's like, no, don't want that. Worst ever. Yeah.
Cool. Did you take the Groms to Macaroni's?
Yeah, took Taz and Bella to Macca's and they were charging, and then they came to Cloudbreak as well, and then Bella got dry docked on the reef, and then she was only running a 5'8", and it was like 10 foot. And I said, go get my 6'2", and she said, no. And then it was pretty cool. She went, after she got smashed, like she got washed on a dry reef, and I'd go and help her over shish kebabs, and then took out the 6'2", and got some sick ones.
Wow.
Yeah, so the kids are growing up. It's good. Charging. Yeah, Bella's been cool. She's never worried about getting smashed.
Wow.
Even as a little girl. Yeah, she'd jump in the pool when we were grommy, when she was a baby. Like, she'd just dive in, and people thought she was drowning, and she'd just float to the top, couldn't even swim, get a little breath, and go again, and then just did it. So, yeah, she's surfed, like, even at, I think she was like 11, surfing like 10 foot Hawaii. And not even scared. Yeah.
Wow.
And so I've seen her, she was at Greenbush when we were there too, and she's like, these big bombs are coming, and then she's like looking in the barrels. I'm like, Bella, get out of there. You're going to get smashed. What are you doing? Oh, I'm looking into the barrels. I'm like, no. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. And Tad's like, he's pretty big now. He's like 83 kilos.
Wow.
So, yeah, he's surfing really cool style, and they're not really doing the comps at the moment, which is pretty good for me. I'm stoked. Yeah, so I've gone this full circle. Like, I was coaching Hedgie, but he's retired. I was coaching Cooper Chapman, and he's working really. He's lost his sponsor, so he's got to work. So he does labouring for a builder, and then travels. So he doesn't really have time for training anymore. And then I had Sam and Whitaker and all those guys. I had from a massive squad, and it's just the way it's all worked out. And I'm actually stoked because I'm actually just surfing for fun. I'm not going to comps because comps are cruel, like, so cruel. Like, you can be the fittest guy or girl, have the best board, be in the best peak condition, and you don't get a wave, or they throw your heat out at high tide, or usually the cream rises to the top. But you as a coach, you're in that roller coaster of emotions. Like, they're ripping, the first 2 days they're on fire, and then they have a shocker, and then the vibe of the whole day just goes down. And then you're part of that as well. So you're kind of living in their emotions. So it's a lot more even keel just going surfing. Being the whole idea why we surf is the fun and froth, and, ride different boards, body bash, whatever, foil, ride a longboard. Don't get caught up into all that bullshit of what board you ride. Just do different lines, ride single fins, 20s. And
80s boards.
80s boards. Competition surfing's awesome, but it's draining. Early morning starts. You know around the corner it's pumping, but you can't be there because you got to help the crew, and they know it's pumping, but they're surfing a wave that's not as good as the comp bank, and it's funny. Like, you've got to be so determined now. Like, the Brazilians are that good, so you've got to be. You got to be a full animal. You got to be a Medina, Italo, Toledo. You got to be so driven, or you might as well just not turn up. If you don't have the hunger, you're not going to make it. So yeah, I'm stoked. I just go on surf trips, get barreled, keep my body good, and just way better. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, and then like seeing people get fit at the gym. And I do the classes with them. So if I'm doing the movement class, I do it with them. And I'm getting a workout. And then I do a Wim Hof right at the end of the class on a Tuesday. So the Tuesday class is only an hour. It goes for an hour and a half because it's so fun. And I actually froth on it because I do it with them. And then we just put on some meditation music. Then I'll do Wim Hof. And then if they want to do ice baths, they can. And I just go home buzzing. So yeah, it's good. Life's good, man. It's taken, but you got to have a bit of suffering, don't you, to kind of look at where you got to change your life.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so, broke up with my wife over 26 years, and we're still mates, and she's an awesome person. But yeah, I just grew as a person. Yeah, just looked at what I needed to change. Yeah, as I said before, the best thing you can do is just work on yourself. Work on your own journey, your own path, and that's it. And you just, if it's pretty easy life if you don't lie to yourself. when you're not lying to yourself, it's so easy to live, so easy to just and be totally brutally honest with people, and life's easier. You're not. It's freaking hard when you're trying to do all this other shit, and then once you work that out, you go, oh, I'll just be honest with myself, work on my own stuff, and then that just sort of transforms to everyone else. You teaches them without saying anything.
Was meditation part of that journey for you?
Yeah, meditation. Yeah, heaps of meditation. A lot of books on psychology.
Yeah.
Change, and also just be more open. And my Bella calls me a hippie now, but it's funny. Like, all you can just give out is love. That's all. That's all you can do. And if people hate you or dislike what you're doing or whatever, that's it. That's their deal. And then once you work that out, it's just an easy path to walk, isn't it? Yeah, I'm getting all deep and spiritual on you, man.
That's good.
But yeah, it's cool. Like, and then my kids, I don't even have to control them or try to control them, and it's a way better relationship. Like, my relationship with them is amazing now because I just let them do what they want, and all I do is just give them love, and that's all you can do. And yeah, because there's no point. People know when they stuff up. You know within yourself.
Yeah.
So there's no point judging other people. It's just wasted energy for everyone. Wasted energy for me. Wasted energy for them. Most people know when they stuff up, and yeah, it's cool. Stop drinking beers and alcohol, and that was a huge one, and that was a cool one I learnt. You know, like, when you're totally sober, you have a bigger framework to work with your emotions. So when something goes wrong and you're totally sober, it's sort of like, not that, like as I was saying before, I was never an alcoholic, but just it's always in you, that little bit of alcohol, that little bit. It's just a poison, and once that's gone, like, I haven't had a drink in 8 months now. You just, all this less inflammation, like, you can train harder, you don't get problems in your joints and all that stuff. And then you can, you know, if there's a problem, you just solve it way better. You don't kind of do the quick and easy fix. You kind of think about it and ponder on it and make a better decision rather than just reacting. Yeah, just less reaction. Yeah, so that's cool. And, you know, with a coach who's my black belt coach, Peter King, just with him, and it's funny. And then you just like hanging out with Tom and Hedgie and Sharon and that. You're always talking about just like more growth stuff, and you sort of you gravitate to people that are kind of on that journey. Yeah, yeah,
you do.
Yeah, and then you kind of don't really hang out with the crew that really not going to improve you, which is sad in a way, but that's life. You got to, and then I've actually had mates that are actually seen my change and then followed me,
and you've inspired them.
Yeah, without even saying anything.
That's good.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. Some guys are like, "Oh, I want to do what you're doing. It seems to be working." I'm like, "Yeah, no worries. How do you do it? It's not that hard."
Sounds like you did ayahuasca or something.
I may have. Yeah, that's pretty cool stuff too. I actually did Waska a while back. Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, you work on yourself. Hey,
well, it's hardship, right? Self-awareness.
Yeah. That's the thing. Everyone's too scared to make those changes. Hey.
Yeah.
I remember. I was like lying to myself all the time. I knew that was a chink in my arm. I was alcohol. I knew there was a little chink there, and I had everything pretty much dialed. You know, and I was like, oh, I'm not going to be funny. I'm not going to be this. And then it changed. I was like, fuck, this is way better life. You know, and you go to a party and you're still as funny as you were. You know, there's all these weird things you made up in your head. Yeah, going within yourself and learning. You know, I sound like the Waska. But yeah, it teaches you. Yourself's your own teacher. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, reading all the books and all that's cool, and podcasts, and learn heaps of the podcasts. I love the Mike Tyson podcast. Hot boxing. That's pretty cool. He gets right in depth.
Yeah.
He's had a massive change, and yeah, it's rad. Hey, yeah, yourself is the biggest teacher, and everyone knows you can't. Everyone knows, but they're just too scared to try to answer the questions.
Yeah.
Have you tried the Waska?
I've done it once.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did it once.
Yeah, it's awesome, hey?
Yep.
Yeah, it's kind of like Mike Tyson talks about. You have an ego death. You realise that it's your ego, and also you pretty much, I know it sounds really deep now, but your body's just a vessel, really. A vessel, and it's just, your thoughts are just made up. Your brain, all your thoughts and feelings, you've just made them up, and you're just basically a vessel in the universe, part of everything. Yeah, it's crazy. And then you just see stuff better. Like you just look at nature and like looking at now how amazing it is. Just the simple stuff, and and all those material possessions we kind of put place on how important they are. It doesn't really matter. Like home is. Home's anywhere, really. You know what I mean? As long as you got love around, home's anywhere. It's sort of like, you see a cool friend or someone and you actually see them overseas and you stay at their place, you feel at home. Whereas, and then we just put this big emphasis on the big house and all this kind of stuff. And then when you leave it, you go, oh, it's heaps more refreshing. Yeah, it's pretty easy.
What happens if someone steals your favourite board, though?
Yeah, that's a bummer. But the reason being because you like how it feels on the wave.
That's true.
You don't care about the possession, about the monetary value, but you go, oh, I wish I had that ball because it would have done this on that wave. So that's kind of different.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the feeling.
The feeling. Yeah, surfing's so much on feeling, isn't it? And that's what's cool about the Wim Hof too. You get all those crazy feelings like in your body when you're doing the deep breathing. Especially when you do those. We did ones where we went for 40 minutes, a guided one, and this guy had music.
Yeah.
This Johannes.
So just keep cycling through that breathing process for 40 minutes.
Yeah, it's gnarly.
Wow.
And you actually trip out. Like you fully trip out.
Just that same 30.
He changes it, Like he'll direct it, and then he had a guy playing didge and then drums and a singer, and we're all on the floor.
Wow.
And having like 30 people in the room, you can feel their energy. They talk about that too, you're just having that collective energy. If you're just on your own, you don't really feel. You can feel there are other people in the room, but you all got your eyes closed and you can feel their energy. And I was fully crying and all sorts of stuff. And one of them, my mum's death and all that sort of stuff came to me, but it was like kind of a sad, and then it went to happy tears because I dealt with something I kind of hadn't probably shoved away, even though I went, grieved and all that with about my mum. But yeah, those ones are insane. You go 40 minutes, so he'll even do really fast and then drop it down slow and then fast and then slow and then, then you go, then the deep ones right at the end and then you do the breath hold. And then you do some with the breath hold with the in-breath and sometimes with the out-breath. Yeah, and then when you do the in-breath, you might even squeeze your whole, your perineum and everything, and then your head, and you let go, and you're just whoa, and you're just yeah, you see people have these crazy experiences, and then we do the ice baths, so it's just kind of cool. It's a big day, fun day out.
So is that part of your awakening, that experience?
That was one of them, yeah. I was one of them. There's been a lot. There's been a few.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's just kind of always open to that stuff. I just knew it was funny, when I first split up with, because I was alone, and then I just remember one day I was alone, and then I knew that one thing I needed to work on first was just stopping drinking. And because it's a depression, as we know, and I was I'm not going to go. I could go one way or the other. I'm going to go the good road, not the bad road. Because I've seen mates go, break up with their family and then go totally loose. I'm like, nah, I'm going to be true to myself and work on myself. And then just got right into that, and then just working, and just did a lot of therapy and stuff like that, talking a lot, and that brought that out. So that was cool, and I'm just growing from there. Yeah.
That sounds like your second awakening, though. The first awakening was making the decision to dissolve a long-term relationship.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah, that's really hard.
I mean, I've just been through the same thing, so...
It's super tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was lots of tears and what-ifs and what have I done and all those sorts of things. It's gnarly. It's so... Yeah, it's really heavy. Yeah, so that seems... Even though it was only March, but it's I've done so much work on myself. It seems a long time ago now. Yeah, it's crazy how you can. Yeah, so that was a massive awakening, and then I just kept going on my own little journey of growth. Yeah, just reading on stuff, like working on growth, and yeah, just see things so totally different now. And you're just in that little bubble, weren't you? Just in that bubble of just that was normal.
Yeah, so your social conditioning is part of it, I think.
Yeah.
Relationships are hard.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
They're hard, and the thing is, they change.
Yeah.
Like I've been saying to my baby mama, is like, we're going to be in a relationship for the rest of our lives because we have children together.
Yeah.
And we're friends, but it's just not romantic anymore.
Yeah, and it's
just changing the relationship, but the perception often is no, it's broken. That's it. It's over. You're not allowed to. You know what I mean?
It's really tough when it's broken.
That's not the best way to deal with it. I don't think.
And then it's. Yeah, I remember speaking to this Brazilian elder, and he was saying it's funny how when we get married, we're just so in love, and then we love that person because of those traits. And then as you see people in a relationship grow older, they start trying to change their partner. And that's so weird because you didn't marry him because of that. And then now you're trying to change each other. What are you doing? We just got it all wrong. So they should just be thankful. Both partners should be thankful for having that person how they are. Yeah, and then also life changes, and then people do grow apart. They do have different interests, different ways of looking at the world. So then there's another option as well. And you're like, just things change, and it's pretty wild, isn't it?
It is.
Wild.
Yeah.
Especially being a human, trying to be with that person forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've spoken to friends about that, and they're just like, I don't, a few of the older statesmen I know, and they've said, yeah, like this. I mean, I might be totally wrong, and that's a good thing that you're never right. I'm never right anymore. Just my opinion. It's like the Big Lebowski. It's your opinion, man. But you basically, it's like the two humans aren't probably meant to live for that long together. They're in that one relationship with that first original relationship, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
Not many people manage to
No.
to do it, and even fewer manage to do it right.
Yeah, I know.
I know a few that are doing it, but they don't, like, I wouldn't want to be in it, kind of thing.
Yeah,
do you know
exactly.
what I mean? Like, ooh.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, I know. It's gnarly.
Yeah.
So gnarly.
Times are changing.
Yeah, it's such a fast life now, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, expectations are changing, and
but yeah, that's what I just slowed down too. Slow down. I was just 100 miles an hour. Still am, but at certain times, knowing when to chill out, when to sleep more. And I've always been good at sleeping, but it was hard with when the kids were young. But now, they're all 16, 18 now. Get your sleep patterns back.
Yeah, that's key.
That's key, isn't it? It's funny how you listen to all those. I mean, listen to those. Like Ben Greenfield's podcast.
Yeah.
Dave Asprey.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all good. I love them, but it's so funny how they always talk about being grounded and do this, do that, and you're like, yeah, well, it's pretty simple. Like, get a minimum 8 hours. We're walking around barefoot all the time. We're out in the ocean. We're in the elements. Different tide winds. Well, super lucky, And eat well because you don't want to be too heavy for your board. You want to be able to move. Pretty lucky being surfers. Like, how lucky are we? Like, you see all those old guys at the beach still look young, and the guys that look after themselves because they want to be able to surf. So we're so lucky we've got given that gift to surfing, because there's just that motivational tool every day, and then you're in nature every day. You watch the sunrise, and you're grateful for that. It's an onshore, and who cares? There's no one out. I usually have just always look at the positive stuff when I go surfing. Okay, it's like yesterday I surfed now at Northie with Sharon, and it was only us two out because it was 20 knots on shore. but it was 3 foot. Once you're on the wave, it was sweet, wasn't it? But the good thing was there wasn't 20 people out, you know, and pretty lucky, you know, just being surfers, just keep, you know, and you ride different boards as you were talking about for different waves. You ride a bigger board, and you're not going to struggle on your little functional, you know, non-functional for that day, your little 5'10" by 18.5, 2 1/4. You're going to sink.
Yeah.
So
Very few people can make those boards work in all conditions.
You know, and then we got surf trips where we go these beautiful spots.
Yeah, surfing's the fountain of youth.
White sands and sick reefs, and if surf's no good, you go for a snorkel or, full fountain of youth, hey. Yeah, there was a guy out in Narrabeen, his name's Dennis. He was always into horses, like basically he's a surfer, but he also he bred horses, and he'd race all around the snowy mountains, whatnot. And he's 76. Oh no, 78. And he still surfs, still gets to his feet. Unreal. And then he won a race in the Opens when he was 70. And then he was always, because he was so fit from surfing, didn't really have to train for the horses because he was fit, because he loved it. And now I saw him the other day, and he's been, this year, when it's tubing, he can't get to his feet quick enough, so he takes out like a bodyboard and surfs Northie Point, gets barreled. Right. I was like, you're my inspiration. He goes, oh, this is changing. This is going to give me another 10 years of surfing. Yeah. I'm like, what?
Wow.
Yeah, so he gets tubed on the bodyboard on sucky days, and then when it's fatter, he rides his longboard. And he looks like 60.
Wow. He's got to figure out how to keep that pop-up going into your 70s.
Yeah, the pop-up. Keep those hips loose. Hey?
Yeah.
So his hips are probably good from the horses, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah.
Because he's kind of riding. He's on rough terrain.
Yeah.
So he's not sitting.
Slater will figure that out for us, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Slater's the man. How's those barrels he was getting at pipe? Far out. Just thinking, I think he's down. And he won the Triple Crown.
I know.
Freak. Full-on freak. So good.
Yeah.
So competitive. But he's got that fire, though.
Just pulling into those close-out barrels at backdoor.
I know.
Without a care in the world.
I know. That's what it was like, coming back to technique and stuff. Like, you go down and you coach people, and they're going, oh, it's too small. You're going, oh, this is probably Kelly Slater's best day ever growing up. You know, so, and I always say the analogy, you've seen Slater get a barrel-out backdoor pipe, and it's 10 foot, and he's 20 foot back, and you see him speed pump. That speed pump he was doing in that barrel, he's doing at Cocoa Beach at 1 foot. So you can translate, if you can get speed in 1 footers, you're going to use it all around everywhere. And they're like, oh, they get motivated.
It's true, though. It's
very true. And look at like the Lopez brothers, and then also the Hobgoods from Florida.
Yeah.
All mental tube riders.
Yeah.
And of course they also froth on surfing because they grew up where it's crap, so they go over there and surf all day. Whereas some crew that have used to good waves, it's not good enough, don't think I'll surf. They always had that hunger. Yeah, so small waves can teach big waves. And MR used to say that too in another way. He said, big waves are easier than small waves because you've got more room.
You got more time, yeah.
More time and room. And it's like, sick.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Small waves are hard.
I saw you do. I saw you post up some coaching. You had your bottom turn before and after. That was cool.
Yeah, no. I've made some big changes on that trip.
Yeah, that looked good.
Yeah.
Where was that?
That was in El Salvador.
Oh, no, it looks good there.
Yeah.
I've never been there. Hedgie's been there.
Yeah.
Looked fun rights, hey?
Yeah. Yeah. Plenty of time to get the body right.
Yeah. That's what I reckon heaps of people need, hey? Just to have that repetition in good waves, and then you can transfer it to small waves. Like a lot of people think you can't, but you can.
Yeah, of course.
I know, but it's like, I won't be able to surf when I go home. And you're like, no, you'll surf better. It's just basically generating speed. If you've always got speed, you can do those turns, what you did on a big wave, or like a 5 footer. If you got speed, you can do that in a 2 footer. You just got to generate speed. What we want to do now, like as we're getting older, is just be that graceful older surfer. Like still hack turns and but you'll throw spray, but you want to have minimal movement.
Like Rob Machado.
In between turns. Yeah. Just Machado, Parco.
Yeah.
They look like they got all the time in the world, hey?
Yeah, they do.
They're doing less turns. You do less turns, but better ones. And just flowing, looking. And I do a lot with that coaching from the intermediate level into advanced too, is just doing that full-blown roundhouse. If you do the full figure eight, if you just keep going figure eight in between, it's easy because you're always in the power pocket. Like Taylor Knox has got the most amazing figure eight you've ever seen. You know, so you can do that figure eight, hit the foam, always come back to the foam, and then you don't have to bounce. And then learning just rail to rail, less is more. Yeah, and Martin's, I don't know if you've seen some of Martin Dunn's stuff. He's just opened up. Oh, he did this thing, it was pretty cool. Was a guy in Waco, got footage of himself in the wave pool, and then sent it to Martin. So it was like this full experiment.
Oh, cool.
So that was cool. So Martin broke down his surfing that he didn't even film from an artificial wave.
Yeah.
And then helped this guy surf. So that's
cool.
pretty cool. Like the future.
Yeah. Have you done the wave pools?
Yeah, I did. Last year I went with the Olympic team with Cooper Chapman. We went to Slater's pool. We were there for 2.5 days. That was cool with Ryan Callahan, Solly Bailey. Who else was there? Philippa Anderson. And there was Caleb Tancreed. It was a cool little crew. And of course Cooper. Matt Banting was there.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was insane. That was fun. And then we went to Waco because we were already there. We just paid on our own. Cooper and I just went on it with his dad. We went to Waco and we went to Inland. Inland was like, we just wanted to see it, but it was terrible. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I've seen it. I'm not inspired
gut,
to go there.
No.
Yeah. But Waco looks...
Waco's insane. It's got this, it's got the jets under the water. Yeah, it's funny because I came just back from Cloudbreak. I went from Cloudbreak, sound like a wanker now, but I went from Cloudbreak restaurants pumping to the Slater pool, straight, pretty much straight there. And then I went to Waco. So it was cool to just go from full-blown pumping ocean to Slater's. And Slater's in the barrel was weird because it's a foil. It's cutting through the water with this steel blade. It's got no power from the bottom third of the wave has no power. So you notice all the pros how they don't do those crazy deep bottom turns because you just go off the back. So, and then when you're in the tube, the barrel comes from behind you. Not, you know how most you're coming along and then you do a tube stall or you stall and then you see the barrels sort of lining up in your vision like 3 meters ahead. Yeah. Slater's one comes from behind you.
So you've got to kind of just trust the process?
Yeah, you got to trust it. You do this little... And then you can grab the wall just for a little bit and then let go because it gobbles you up. So it doesn't grab your fin... Like, there's no water coming off your fins. That makes sense? So, like... And I came from pumping restaurants and you do a tube stall, and then you feel the water grab your fins and then push you in the tube. Whereas Slater's doesn't give you that. It's crazy. And then you just got to... You got to work it out. It's easy front side at the start, and then back side's quite hard because you can't do the deep, like we've done our whole lives. You just throw your arm in the wall, and you can let it in and out. You've just got to basically, in the end, I was pulling my arm off and putting it on my board, like tucking on the flat, because I'm a goofy. My right hand was coming down flat, so I couldn't grab the wall. I was making myself not grab the wall. It was crazy because it outruns you. Yeah, so that was cool. Then Waco's got all this power like a wave, like restaurants did. It was pushing underneath the water in air jets. So you come off the bottom and you feel like a proper wave.
Waco looks like it would be good for coaching.
Yeah, awesome for coaching.
You just sit there and film.
Yeah, Kelly's pool is insane, but it's not being ungrateful. It's amazing engineering and it's a best barrel. Like the barrel's insane, but from a coaching point of view, it's too long, and it's not pushing back at you. Like you said, Waco's insane. It's like 3 waves, just 3 wave sets, and then like a 10-second break, and then 3 waves, and 10-second, boom, 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 boom. So, and if you fall, you don't care. Whereas if Kelly's you fall, you're bummed because you don't get another wave for another 4 to 7 minutes. And then, because there's only, say there's 20 of you, you might have a wave every, like an hour. Whereas Waco's just pumping all day. So that was cool. And then they can change the settings. They can make an air section, make a barrel section, like a turn section. And then I went to Melbourne Urban Surf. I wrote all the curriculum for them from total beginner to advanced. So it took me a year to do that. And then they're opening in January 2020. So I went down with Taz and Bella last Wednesday and just surfed with all their team. And that's sick. It's similar to Waco. And that's got 8 wave sets.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and like 6 turns. And then they've got this barrel section called the Beast. So, yeah, and that's all air jets underwater as well.
Okay, so similar technology.
To Waco, yeah. So it's waveguard and technology. So they've got that dialed, like a right and a left at once, going towards, obviously towards the beach. But you look at it and you're like, whoa, whereas Waco's cool, but it'd only be left setting, right setting. Whereas Urban Surf's got the left and right going at once.
Interesting. Yeah, Tom was saying, because he went there, he said it's like there's lots of refraction and there's water moving around as well.
Yeah, so it still feels like a normal ocean. So some waves are different because there's so much water moving around the pool. So it's really interesting, yeah. Like you'll get one wave and then the next wave's different, even though it's on the same setting, which is good. It's not bad. It's not a bad thing.
It's more surfing.
Like we got a couple where I was saying to Bella, don't hit the first section too hard because the first section was kind of just the way on that setting was. It was just almost like we're talking about before, just do like a nice even cutty, and then it'd ramp up. So it was almost you were reading the wave. You weren't just on autopilot. Whereas Kelly's is really autopilot because that's just a foil, whereas the jets under the water, and then having all the water rushing around after those sets, it just makes it different sections. Like even one, I went up and did 2 turns, and then there was a barrel, and that on that same setting, I never got barreled again the whole day. It was weird. I was like, what? How'd that happen? Yeah, so it's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm going back down on Saturday, and I'm going to do 8 hours. So I don't know. I'll get back to you how many waves that is. You're amazing.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so that's cool. That's going to be good for training. Because I worked in a wave pool in Malaysia in 1995. I was there for like a whole year, like back and forth. And we got guys, like full-on Malaysian guys, never surfed they were on 8-foot softies. In a month, they were on 6.0s hardboards. But then I took them in the ocean, and they were terrible. They couldn't handle currents, and they couldn't know where to sit. And so,
but for the intermediate surfer that wants to, dial in their bottom turn,
refine it,
just spend a day, being filmed and coached,
just like boom, instant, go and do that. When you come off that section, do that. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Yeah, there's the beast mode. Guys are breaking boards and then hitting their head. Some guys have been cracking their heads open. Like it's got power. Apparently they could make it bigger, but it might be too gnarly. So that's cool.
Yeah. That'd be wow. Yeah. Imagine that. Big enough, like double overhead wave pools.
Oh, that'd be wicked. And then I haven't done the plunger one. That looks pretty cool. That's interesting. The one up at the plunger.
The Mad Max one.
Mad Max. So so at least the good thing is, and the vibe was really good because everyone knows a wave's coming. You don't get that anxiety in surf. Oh, the wind's going to come or tide's coming in. So you get a few guys that hassle and wreck upset the upper cart just because they think it's going to be, that's over. Whereas in the wave pool, everyone's like, I know it's my turn. So everyone's really respectful and sticks to in the line. It's really cool.
It's like the opposite of real surfing.
Opposite. Yeah, I know. Imagine if someone went from straight, like we just grew up on a wave pool, and they went and surfed somewhere where it's just heavily localised.
Yeah, they'd be like,
what's going on?
Why?
What? I haven't caught a wave in 2 hours. I've been sent in. I got sent in. I got slapped on the ear.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be hot. Have to do like scenarios in the pool. Okay. This is what happens when you go to this spot in the world. But in Macaronis, when I surf guide there, I did a surf guiding gig this year. It was cool. And I try to make everyone take turns. So when I'm out there, even guys just jump fresh off the boat. And you go, hey guys, we're doing a line system here. There's only 10 of us out. So you're number 10, he's number 1, number 2, number 3. And number 1, if you don't want it, you just put your hands up. And it works a treat. And I had this massive guy, this big Brazilian guy, covered in tats. He was like double my size and gold teeth and looked gnarly. And I just said, hey, mate, we take turns here. And he's like, what do you mean? I said, look, we take turns. Like, go to the end of the line. He came back later, about half an hour later, and he hugged me. He goes, hey, Matt. Hey, Bella. This is the best day of my life. I can't believe it. Every day I have a fight in the surf. Thank you, God. And he was stoked because he didn't have to fight.
Yeah.
And you know it's where to take off. You can go wide, you can go deep. Or if you want to double up, go the double up. If you don't, some guys will sit there for like 40 minutes and not catch a wave because they want that bomb. So it's cool.
So they just put their hands up.
Yeah, put their hands up. Put their hands up.
Yeah. Communication.
Yeah, and then if you're too deep, can't get it, go. That's like my pet hate in surfing. Hey, you know the bomb of the day and no one gets it because no one talked.
Yeah.
Or 3 guys hassle themselves and no one gets it. Just like, no. That's all I do when I surf. I just try to stay away from. I see a pecking order, I'll just go down the beach. You know what I mean? Or just find something, or you just sit eventually just don't froth and talk, and eventually you get a wave.
Yeah,
I'm pretty lucky around northern beaches here. There's heaps of spots.
Yeah.
Whereas I haven't surfed. I don't know. America's out of control, is it?
It is.
Like how many guys out Malibu?
60, 80. And
so it's like the Superbank.
Yeah,
similar to,
but it's not as long a wave.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
it's just like to get a wave and not have someone drop in on you is.
That's gnarly.
I mean, there's one guy out there who he as soon as he gets on a wave, he just starts yelling.
Yeah, right.
Yelling and screaming, and he gets waves to himself. But you shouldn't.
He's not having fun though.
You shouldn't have to do that.
He's not having fun.
It's one of the most passive aggressive places in the world because people drop in on you without even looking. Like they won't even look at you or acknowledge you.
Yeah.
Or I had this one guy blatantly drop in on me, and I just like sort of lifted him off the wave.
Yeah.
Like, yep.
See ya.
Yep. Oh, wait, he didn't listen. I just went up, just lifted him off the wave, and he just jumped off his board and grabbed my leash and pulled it. I'm like, oh.
We both can't get it now, you kook.
Yeah, just things like that. And it's just sort of... and there's so many people out there on soft tops that have been surfing for 1 year. And because Malibu is such a... it has to be one of the best waves in the world. It's so easy, yet it's so rippable.
Yeah.
Like if it's head high, and
it's kind of slopey, right?
Slopey. You can literally you could have a short boarder top to bottom ripping, and then a long boarder doing it thing on the shoulder, and it'd be fine.
Yeah,
it's such a long rippable wall.
You could fit 2 guys on it or girls
easily, and then people do it all the time. Like jump on, that's fine. But
surf behind them,
But you get these soft top people just. Oh, it's my turn. I've been surfing for a year, and
that's the bummer about
entitlement.
The entitlement,
passive aggressive.
They're entitled, and also, they just miss that whole generation of like pecking order. You know, pay your dues.
Yeah,
you don't paddle out and start snaking the old guys or girls. Let them have waves. It's not your turn. Yeah, they just come out and just go nuts. And they've probably done that in the whole life, so they don't cross over in a surf world. They still push everyone over in life, so then they, I'm going to do it out here.
Yeah. Well, they see what the 20 or the surfers that have been surfing for 20 years, they see how it works.
Yeah.
But they don't understand the skill it takes to make it work like that.
Yeah, for sure. It's gnarly.
And it's a...
I mean, I went out snapper, and it was one of those days where no one could fall off. So it was probably a bit like Malibu, and it was so annoying because usually it's gnarly, you know. This day it was just only 3 to maybe 3, maybe a little bit bigger, but it was so perfect. No one was falling off. So everyone was getting really agitated because when people fall, some of my best waves at snapper, someone's fallen off. You're paddling out, it's not, and you go, some guy that digs a rail and goes over the falls, and you just quickly swing and go, and you get a 400-meter wave of your life.
Yeah.
This day, no one was falling off, and I was like, I only got one wave in about 40 minutes, so I just did the bodyboard of shame. Spent stuff this, bodyboarded a wave into the beach, ran around a D-bar, was 6 foot and on shore, and there was 3 people out coming off the wall and had an absolute ball.
Wow.
Yeah, and just went far out, and I was tired. Like, I surfed for like 2 hours, I was worn out.
Yeah.
I just caught too many waves. I was like, I'm not going to suffer anymore. But sometimes your brain's going, I don't want to do that paddle of shame. I'm like, I don't even care. I'm just going in.
It's not like that not in LA anyway, because it's such a limit. There's only a number of breaks.
Yeah.
And there's so many people.
Yeah, that's gnarly.
So it's just that everywhere's got lots of people.
Yeah, Northern Beach is insane, hey?
Yeah, I mean, the wave to people ratio is much better here.
Yeah.
LA's like, you get good waves in LA, but there's too many surfers per waves kind of thing. It's hard to find.
Need a wave.
You can go to some local beach breaks and get closeouts and have fun if you want.
Yeah.
Which is what I do a lot, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get good at surfing closeouts.
Yeah. Yeah, or just travel. Just go on trips.
Yeah, you got to go on trips, hey?
Yeah.
It keeps you frothing, hey, trips.
Yeah. Have you got a trip booked coming up?
Well, I'm going to wave pool on Saturday, and then I'm just going to work all the way till April, and then I can just not care. I'll probably do heaps. Definitely do 2 Fiji, 2 Indos already. Got them already lined up. So that's the carrot.
Nice.
So I can just go there without any stress. Don't have to put out fires with work. And it's way better now. Everyone's a good vibe right now down here with work, like teaching all these holiday makers. So they're all in a good mood. So kind of you get their vibe. And then winter time, I can go away. And then the guys I work with, we all share months off. It's unreal.
Rad.
Yeah. It's weird though. I've got to do 3 to 4 weeks is a perfect time. And then you have a little break, go home, and then go somewhere. I can't do the full time. I don't know, it's just my brain. I'm different. I don't know, it's just like, no, I'm ready to go home.
Yeah.
And so home's good. Like, you lived here, eh? There's so many good spots.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Beautiful place.
Yeah, and it's funny, all of that stuff I was talking about before, you see those people that never have a winter? Like, you need a winter. You need a winter.
To appreciate summer.
Yeah, you need, your mental. Now we're getting deep again. But it's funny, when people live the endless summer, they don't appreciate, as you said, they don't appreciate it, and also they don't go for all the different seasons. It's so cool going for different seasons, wearing it from boardies to a steamer, on shores to warm water, gnarly big period swells, piddly little onshore little runners. So all those, same as with your life. I know we still come back to surfing and life, but if you just don't have, winter's really good for your brain, you kind of sort of consolidating, and then, before that, in autumn, you're pruning, throwing out what's not working in life, then sort of consolidating in winter, and then spring you're starting to grow, and then summer you just get the fruits of your labour, and then you go back again and do it again, and just keep reassessing your life. But if you just have the endless summer, you just burn out.
Yeah, it's true. It's good. It's a good metaphor.
There you go, man.
Sounds like you've been reading a seasonal model for psychology or something.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
it is?
I did actually.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it was really cool. Yeah, it was actually about change, and it was just right. It was at the right time. I found that book. What's her name? By Morton. Yeah, she's Cynthia Morton.
Okay.
Yeah, it's called, I think, Four Seasons of the Heart, and that one was Change. Yeah, there you go. I remembered it.
All right.
Yeah, that was amazing. Yeah, so and it was funny. You only supposed to read a chapter a day, so it sinks right in. But sometimes I'd read 3, because she's a great writer. She's an Aussie, and but yeah, that was huge. And you just see everyone's different, and I'm not judging, but yeah, you see crew that just live full time as an expat somewhere, and they're all a little bit crazy, eh? Like island fever and stuff. Not everyone, but
yeah,
you see crew been doing it for a long time. A bit like, Marlon Brando and his island in Fiji going nuts.
Yeah, I like that. Seasonal. Yeah, it makes sense.
And it's cool, like with surfing too, isn't it? Like fishing and all those sorts of things, like different
seasons. Yeah.
And you have those memories, like some of your best surfs were like onshore sou'westers with no one out.
Yeah, yeah.
With your best
little
mate.
gem comes through you didn't expect.
And then Derek Hines said a good quote too, just don't surf with any expectations. I love that. You just have so much fun. You don't even care if you get away. If you go, I might get 1 today, or if I do. And then, you get 10 and you're stoked. And you just haven't, I've got to do all these turns or do this and that. You go, nah, whatever happens, and you have the best surf. And then it's good having Idolo winning the title. Like, he's just a full frothing grubber.
Yeah. Incredible, right?
Oh, it was awesome. And he beat Medina, who's the full-on cyborg. And he's got him. I think he's like 8-10 maybe. He's beaten Medina.
Oh, really?
Apparently, yeah. I might be wrong, but check his stats, but he's so, like they say, stoked. He's a frother. He's such a frother, eh? I saw him in Debo actually this year, and he was there for the comp, and I was just there with the Kira teams titles. I was surfing D-bar, and it was so, like, inspirational to surf with, because he's actually just frothing on surfing. Like, he's not even trying to be the best. He's just surfing. He wants each wave. He wants to be the best for himself, and he was happy. And he'd paddle out as hard as he was paddling for a wave. His motor, like his internal motor, was insane. Like, so I was joking with my son Taz. I said I was putting on my leg rope, and I saw him get 310s while I was just putting my leg rope on. Like, he took off, did a straight air, then an air reverse into the flats. And then got a right, did 4 backside, upside down Rios, and then did an air reverse. And the next one just does 1 big straight air, and you're just like, I was like, what? And then I was paddling, I was just sitting out there with him, and then I watch him catch a wave, and he'd be paddling out like 4-foot D-bar. Like most people would be getting pushed back to the beach, and he's just paddling through the waves. Yeah, and he wasn't hassling either, like, and he was happy, and he's talking to everyone. And then he'd just getting waves, just wasn't. He was reading them really well too. And because he paddles so fast, he could see a right coming, and he'd paddle over to it and get it, and then he'd look over to his left, and then back out, and he'd get another left, he'd get a left and a right, and then he'd end up winning the comp.
Yeah, world champ.
World champ.
Yeah,
so cool. I don't know, and a lot of guys, and I know a lot of Aussies bag the Brazilians, but when you actually hang with them, like I've hung on tour with them, Hedgie, they're the nicest guys in the world. They just have to be an animal in the heat.
It's their job.
It's their job. Like, that's the thing. Like, people bag on social media about Medina and this, Medina that. What about, so imagine in 10 years, if he didn't do some of the stuff he did in heats, he'd be sitting at home without that world title.
Exactly.
And going, oh, maybe I should have pushed a bit harder on that heat, you know? It's a job, as you said. Like, we're talking about the All Blacks before, they're machines. You're not going to, oh, it's okay, mate, and then you lose the World Cup.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. That was too nice.
Yeah.
But on land, after the whistle blows or the hooter blows, you'd be mates.
Playing within the rules is what it's the game.
Yeah, it's a game.
It's a game, yeah.
Yeah,
it's not free surfing. You're not there to make friends.
Nah, like free surfers are a cack, aren't they?
It's competitive surfing.
How's the air guys now? Like, it's cool that WSL have got the air guys. So they just party the whole time. Don't train and just have, it's the polar opposites, eh? And they're having a ball. And they're just animals. Love it.
Yeah, they should be filming them in the pub.
Yeah, oh yeah. They get some good clips. And then who was it? Matt Miola. Those massive closeouts in France this year. No, I just had the air show. And he just rubber legs, just doing these airs on these 6-foot closeouts, like just death-defying. And he wasn't even he was so close to making. If he got one, he was going to be a 10-point ride. And he goes, "No, I'm not surfing for twos." I went, "That's so refreshing." He'll either get last or first. He's not going to play the game. He's not going to play that game of safety, first or last.
It's no expectations.
No expectations, and yeah, Medina's just a beast.
He is.
And you can hate. I don't know why guys. I mean, it's weird how people can just actually hate someone so much, and they're just an athlete. They're doing their job.
They're all talk.
Yeah.
They hate on Instagram, but...
Yeah, they won't say it to his face.
Oh, no. They'd be like, oh, my God, shake his hand. You're a legend.
I met Medina.
Yeah, he was actually really nice.
I know. Far out. That's what's so cool about martial arts, jiu-jitsu. Yeah, there's no hating on anyone. You got to be so humble. You got to be respectful. Anyone can beat you, and it doesn't matter if they do. You just...
That's how you learn.
Pete, the coach, says, leave your ego at the door. And so humbling. That's where surfing sort of lost its way a bit, hey?
Leave your ego on the sand.
Leave your ego on the sand.
That could be a new hashtag. It needs it.
Oh, bloody oath. Bloody oath.
It needs it, all right, man.
I know. So you're going to stay in the States, obviously?
We've got another couple of years on our visas. So
yeah.
Yep. Do another couple of years, and then who knows?
Who knows?
I don't know, man.
No expectations.
That's right.
Keep the book open.
Yeah. Leave the ego on the sand.
And NZ trips?
Going there in a couple of days, actually, yeah.
Awesome. What island?
North Island.
Yeah.
East Coast, North Island. Yeah.
Magic, hey? Magic spot.
Yeah.
And the crowd, like you must just freak out when you go there. And
yeah, it's not the right season for surfing, but
nah, but just the amount of people that are on the island in general.
Oh yeah. It's
and you can just go down, like
untouched.
go to a spot that's not even known.
Yeah,
that's mental.
Yeah, if you want to drive, for sure. Yeah,
you know, you got your known spots, but I actually surfed Raglan this year, like howling on, like sort of like howling winds, but once you're on the wave, it was fine. And I was jumping off indicators and surfing, 3 waves all the way to the ramp.
Yeah, wow.
And Sharon picked me up in the car, to drive me around and jump back off. I was the only guy out.
Wow.
It was like 6 to 8, just to like sort of 10 duck dives, and then bang, just surf all the way down. And then there's that little horseshoe after Whale Bay. There's that little and then you go to Manu. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
There's a little spot where you can't get through, and then you just paddle, and then you get. Oh, it's awesome. No one around. 2 days. It was cold though, but but it was weird. I reckon it was warmer than northern beaches, like for the wind. You know how we get the wind on a sou'wester from the snowy mountains? This wind was coming from the water, and it was way better. It
wasn't too bad, yeah.
The water. I mean, the wetties are that good now.
Oh, they are. It's insane.
Yeah, so I was warm. Like one day we surfed 8 hours. But like in and out of the water. I just kept our wetties on, didn't take them off, just have coffees, go back out. Just surfed all around Taranaki, just surfing all different waves in one day. Just jumped back in the car, got electrocuted on a fence. That was pretty cool. Oh, yeah. Going to Coora Patch.
Yeah.
Because it was that funny. I was in my wettie, and I'm like, looks like they've turned them all off. Like, because I felt one just to test. So I was like, they must have turned them off. So jumping fences, and I was lazy on one. And it just boom, and I was just rolling around on the ground.
Oh yeah, they get you, man. They're strong nowadays. They're so strong.
Oh no, that was gnarly. And there was no one around that day surfing because it was just windy, but heaps of surf.
Yeah, paradise.
Cool people too, really cool.
I love Taranaki.
How's like people walk up to you and talk to you and say, oh yeah, come follow me around the corner. There's a better wave, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
Where am I?
Yeah.
This is cool.
They're just stoked to see someone.
Stoked to see someone. Yeah. That's like in Tassie. If you surf Tasmania, it's the same, eh? We were down there for the Aussie titles once, and guys would just see us and come up. We're like, they used to the northern beaches in the 80s. Some big dude walks up, and we're like, oh no, what have we done? Hey guys, how you going? Oh, there's a better spot around the corner. Jump in your car and follow me. We're like, what? Then we went around to his house for dinner. And he's throwing lobsters and on the barbie, and we're just like, what?
Wow.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, leave the ego on the sand.
Leave it on the sand, mate.
Yeah.
I know this is the spiritual it's good. Surf mastery. Last time was the bolter.
The bolter with the
bolter
big wave stories.
The big wave stories.
Yeah.
See, my ego was heaps bigger then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. That was a fun one.
Yeah, it was.
It was actually funny when I was at the wave pool on Wednesday. Someone said, because I was just being low key. I wasn't saying who I was just out there. Eventually, a few of the guys found out it was me, and he goes, I heard you on that podcast. Oh, yeah, cool. Did you like it? And he said, yeah, your one.
Yeah.
Surf Mastery.
Sick.
Yeah, it's cool. No, they've been going well, hey.
It's fun.
It's fun, hey. Just
super
talk.
Fun.
I know that first one was funny, hey. We had it more scripted, and then now just talk.
Yeah.
It's way better.
It's loosening up, for sure.
Is Griggsy's one out yet, or?
I got a couple from Griggs.
Yeah, he's branched out, hasn't he, out of the surfing as well?
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's so applicable to
everything.
Everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember Mark Matthews was doing seminars to like bankers and about fear.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he studied so much about it. Because he was like probably one of the most scared guys out in Maroubra, and then learn how to deal with it. Yeah, it's so applicable to everything. I know, and it's funny, like, I still, I sometimes get in trouble. People go, oh, you always bring it back to surfing? We're going, there's so many life lessons, though, because we're in the ocean. It'd probably be saying the same things if you're a mountain climber or, it's not just surfing. It's just you're in the ocean or you're in the elements, or it'd be snowboarding or climbing crazy mountains. So similar, dealing with that fear and anxiety and learning how to be calm. And I mean, that's weird, isn't it? Like, they don't teach it at school. And
it's a shame. Yeah.
Like the education, like the breathing. Like the other day I had 80 kids looking at me, and they were being rat bags, and I actually said, all right, sit down, close your eyes, and I want you to breathe in through your nose 5 seconds, out through your mouth 5 seconds. We did it like 20 times. And I said, now open your eyes. And they would have sat there calm. And the teachers were like looking at me going, whoa, how did you do that? And I was just like, I don't care. It might not work, but I'm just going to have a crack. Rather than usually I would whistle and go, oi, guys, listen. And I just had their attention. Just calmed them down.
Yeah, they're teaching mindfulness at my son's school in the States.
Cool. Yeah, nice.
They do with the hand. So you breathe in.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Breathe in as you go up the finger and breathe out as you come down the finger. So you've got something like physical to feel and to focus on as well, because kids are very sensory too.
Yeah, that's cool.
So
that's a good one.
They do that a couple of times with their hand. That's pretty good.
That's really cool.
Yep.
Are you trying any different type of meditation or?
I've been doing the Keeley.
Yeah.
So I was doing mindfulness meditation before, and then when I went on the trip with Taylor and just dive deep into the Keeley.
It's only 5 minutes, is it?
It's only five minutes.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do still do the Vedic, but I have to do breath work before it. Like, if I don't do breath work, I'm hopeless. Yeah. Like, I've got to do a lot of breath work before I go into meditation because my brain's so crazy. Because I don't know.
Helps, yeah.
I haven't got good enough yet to... I know you're not supposed to fight it or do anything like that. You've got to relax. But I find when we've done heaps of breathing, I'm just calm.
Yeah, I find doing meditation after the Wim Hof is easier.
Yeah. Yeah, do the Wim Hof then.
Yeah, for sure.
And you feel... Even like I've been doing the Sam Harris guided sometimes. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, I do that as well.
Yeah. We're junkies.
It's a good app. He's good, right?
It's a really good app, hey. It's so
you learn so much listening to him.
I know, he's amazing. That's a good one, like... Especially when the open eye, the gazing.
That's interesting.
You always do it closed eyes, and then you're doing open your eyes, meditate. What? And then you do a wide gaze, and you're like, wow. Yeah.
It's fascinating.
Really cool stuff.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But leave your ego on the sand.
There you go.
It's a good way to end it.
There you go, man.
Sweet.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great.
Awesome.
up alone at the microphone. I went to the radio interview, but I ended up alone at the microphone. Seagulls are still out of reach. Went to the radio interview, but I ended up alone at the microphone. Get out of town. Think I'll get out of town. Get out of town. Think I'll get out of town. I head for the sticks with my bus and friends. I follow the road, no, I don't know where it ends. Get out of town. Get out of town. Think I'll get out of town. 'Cause the world